How's it going, guys? Chris back here again with some more Explorer on MTG Arena. Today we're checking out one of the top meta decks at the moment, and that is Rakdos Midrange. Now, if you're a fan of the channel, you know I have long adored Rakdos decks, in particular Rakdos Dreadhorde Arcanist. And while this deck isn't a Dreadhorde Arcanist deck, it does run a lot of the low-end pieces, and it has a couple of things that you might expect to be in like a Dreadhorde Arcanist, but are a little too expensive for it to be viable. Like, you're generally not going to run Bone Crusher Giant, because it's not an instant in most circumstances. But it's still a pretty good card, right? So we're just getting to see another side of Rakdos that we don't generally get to look at. So here I think I'm going to go Mirror Breaker because we don't really have a fourth land source. So we want to hit some of our later game plays. We're going to need treasure mana. I'm going to discard... Do I want to discard anything? I kind of want to keep things, but... that's kind of a risky play, but we're going to be playing Chandra this turn anyways. This way we'll have a little bit more mana to work with on our turn 5. So we should have 6 plus 2, so we should have 8 mana to work with. We can play every card we have left. So we get 1 transformed. Gonna discard the... I'm not gonna discard anything this time. Rid of the elf. Swing in, go back up to 3 mana. Play Bone Crusher? Okay. That's a pretty decent mid-range start. I like this deck. I haven't played it before. This is my first experience with the deck. I was literally looking over things that we haven't been doing lately on the channel with Magic, and thought maybe it's time to go back to Historic Explorer for a bit. So I chopped over to Goldfish's metagame page and saw what was happening. The last real meta Explorer deck that we checked out was Angel Company, and Angel Company, according to the most recent statistics on the site, has dropped down to like the 4th most played deck in the meta. So it's Rakdos Midrange, Mono Red Aggro, Explore, Enigmatic, names cut off because it's too long, Enigmatic Fires, oh that could be cool, and then Angel Company. We'll keep this. Thoughtseize on 1. So their hands look better than ours. They're playing the same deck. So I guess we just get rid of some of their hand disruption. Like, I don't think it makes sense to take Thoughtseize there, because we don't really have anything that we could worry about. So we don't play the Dragon Skull Summit yet because that's unknown information. We want our opponent to be guessing what we actually drew so that they fire off. We're going to get rid of Thirst because it's known. We basically want to clear a hand out of that could hurt us. That's why they took the Graveyard Trespass in the first place. They wanted their Kroxa to stay alive, because Kroxa is really, really powerful. Like, Uro gets the hit for being way too powerful, but Kroxa is no lightweight. Oh, they are Dreadhorde Arcanist deck, so they're not the exact same deck. Well, good for them for shaking it up. We did a Chandra in this line, but if I've learned anything from playing Dreadhorde Arcanist for years, it's that you never leave one alive. You just never leave one alive.
Consider yourself fortunate.
So I'm actually going to exile this from my graveyard, because it doesn't deal damage unless it's a creature. Because we want to get that damage going. Unfortunately, that's the last creature in either graveyard, so we'll have to, like, we're not going to get the free 1 point, or the free 2 points. So we're going to try to remove the Blood Chief Thirst. Because that's a hard removal spell if they draw another land. And then we'll leave our Stomp up. Because we don't have to, yeah, we don't have to immediately Stomp. Well, we are on game 2 and it's 7 minutes in. That's generally a very good sign. I've been playing Gates a lot, which has not been very compatible with my quest recently. Which is a shame, because Gates is actually kind of fun. It's a bit hit or miss. Like, there's weirdness with it where the timings are still not good enough for it to be, like, super competitive. But having Baldur's Gate come down on turn 3 or 4 to, like, fix things out for you, and that can be quite powerful. So up against Mono Red, second best deck in the format. Life gain is going to be our best way to stop them. We don't have much life gain, but Graveyard Trespasser should do the job. Not only that, the ward is actually deceptively powerful against Mono Red. For those of you who don't have much experience with Mono Red, like, Mono Red decks are constantly in the state where they have to kill you with what damage they have access to. Their card advantage options aren't great. So, I block here. They shock. Yeah, I'm gonna take the block. It's not worth it, but it might be worth it, honestly.
Listen, Val, I'm with the Gatewatch, so you might as well give up already.
Okay.
Let's bring things up.
Yeah, this is a creature. She does not do creatures. Yeah, costing them an extra card can actually be quite powerful. So do I want to Sorin, or do I want to Blood Chief, or do I want just raw damage? I think I'm going to go with Sorin. be a 2-3 lifelinker. Like, when Burn runs out of cards in hand, they lose the game, basically. There are a couple of niche cards that can help them get out of that kind of situation. Like, their Impulse Draw can be pretty strong, but, yeah, Light Up the Stage is one of those cards that can help them get out from underneath being trapped by card advantage. Or at least this is my experience with Mono Red. Mono Red tends to be, can you reach 20 damage before you run out of cards, or run out of things to do. Our mid-range deck, it isn't going to run out of things to do. Sorin will keep us in cards, Adventures keeps us in cards, Fable keeps us in cards. Like, we have a very resilient card advantage package. So normally when I do I'm just going to attack Chandra, because I'm pretty sure if we gain 4 life a turn, they can't win no matter what they do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just can't win. By the Ashino. We're gonna attack them. Start getting this game over with. So I can see why this deck is probably pretty good in Explorer. It's got really good removal, it's got really good card advantage, and it has a couple of really good threats. There's no block. Because that prowess is temporary. It's a shame they don't. So I guess I'm returning a card from my graveyard and dealing 2 damage. You can come back. You can take the damage. So if they don't draw anything good, they're just dead. Shame that doesn't hit creatures. Light Up the Stage is pretty good. Etchings of Key to the Dam is not good. It's good in Burn, but it's not good enough to get them out of the trap they found themselves in. I think we're gonna do 2 more games. These games are pretty short. Generally, we don't do 14-minute videos. Like, we tend to do longer stuff. So we'll keep that going. Terrible for watch time, but nobody's keeping track of that, so. Plus, this deck is pretty fun. Like, it's odd how fun this is. Yeah, I think I'm actually just gonna post the link to Goldfish to the deck instead of just copying and pasting the deck list, because it's essentially unchanged, and that way there's like a link to the meta page. They are mulliganing, which is a bad sign. I don't know, in older formats on Arena, whenever somebody just starts mulliganing away, it gives me flashbacks to Tybalt's Trickery doing turn 2 Ugins, and that's never fun. Let's figure out what this is about. Goodbye, Gallia. So it's a Bard class deck. There's actually a reasonable argument for taking Bard class. Because we could do a Fatal Push Dahlia, but I'd rather just not see her, you know? Next time we can leave up Culligan's Command. Do we need to leave up Culligan's Command? I think we're gonna discard 2 damage. This will get one of the cards out of their hand. Hopefully something good. Because it looks like they have to choose between like a land or a creature. I'm hoping that's what they have to choose between. They got rid of a second Bard class, so it really didn't do anything. I mean, it would have been bad if they could have gotten 2 Bard classes down, because then everything would have cost 4 less, but... While they're stalling out, I'm going to get my card advantage online. You know, so long as... I was looking at this card as I was importing the deck, and I thought to myself, why would I play this? But he's actually just good. It's very neat how Revolt works. I think we got this. I think our game 4 is going our way. Hey, Grimgully, what's up? Wow. Haste but not trample. Isn't that sad? Yeah, I'm just gonna block. Just gonna block. Goodbye land, goodbye land. Stomp. Stomp. Yeah, I'll take 2. I'm getting a little too greedy with the deck. I was being cautious when I first... Hey, that's no fair. But what are you gonna do? Surprise haste is a little scary, but if it already has haste, that's not an issue. None of them have hexproof. None of them have trample. That's, I don't know why I thought hexproof. I'm gonna remove some counters from this. Okay. So we are 4 for 4 at the moment. And we are completing quests, which is what I'd like to see. But as a new historic and explore anthologies are going to drop here, fairly soon, I think. I know they got leaked a while back. I don't know if they're going to drop next month or the month after. I assume they're coming out before Dominaria United. But I think that's a pretty safe bet. Double Crocs, that's what I like to see. Crocs is low-key one of my favorite cards. Like, it just adds so much value. So it's basically a shock that your opponent can choose to counter for 3 mana, for 3 life. No, they can choose to counter for discarding a card. So it's a shock with a weird, like, ward ability. Ridge, oh Ridge, you betrayed me. I thought we were cool, man. I don't know what this deck is up to. Might be Greasefang. I don't know. I guess it's not Greasefang. If it were Greasefang, the world would make sense. But no. Like, it's running Deadly Dispute, which is generally like a sacrifice. Generally what you find in a sacrifice deck, but... yeah, I don't know. Based off that meta page, Anvil Sacrifice, maybe? But Anvil Sacrifice tends to be Rakdos, not Mardu. What is this? The only thing we can do is help them. I'm gonna swing in for 3. See if they'll save us removal spell. Maybe it's like an Arclight Phoenix deck? It's Greasefang. Notice that they also didn't have to thought these to figure out what we're doing. So it's Mardu Greasefang. You can tell because only Greasefang runs. Can't stay away. Put Crocs in the yard. Hey! Let's get rid of that Parhelion. Make this a little bit harder. Yeah, so I can see why this deck is powerful. It's got good removal, it's got good card advantage, and it has Graveyard Gate in the main deck. That's some nice stuff going on. What do you want? Ban it the blue, or Bane the blue? Ban it he blue, or Bane the blue? I think it's Bane the blue. Let's get rid of the reanimation spell. Make him discard a land. Thoughtseize to figure out what they have. Oh, it's just a land. Okay. And then next turn we can Croxa. Yeah, there they go. Well, those were 5 games, and we're still under our normal time limit, because we generally go to 30 minutes, but... and we've ranked up to silver. Well, that was very exciting. I really enjoyed that a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, remember to check out the deck list in the description, leave a like, that kind of thing, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.